morning. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm Katie Smith, Director of Government Affairs for Cargill, and we are just so pleased to have all of you here. Before I get started, I want to say a special thank you to Brian Taylor and his team because they've done a wonderful job hosting us, and we've certainly disrupted their day, but we're very grateful for their hospitality, so thank you for having us. It is my pleasure to introduce Governor Jay Nixon, who has been a longtime leader in public service throughout the state of Missouri and really probably needs no formal introduction to this group. He's been a leader in agriculture, he's been a leader in the business industry, and we're just thrilled that he was with us today. Governor Nixon has put forward an agenda to make Missouri government more efficient, effective, and responsive to the needs of Missouri families, and he is committed to attracting jobs to the future of Missouri, and that is exactly why we are here today. So please join me in welcoming Governor Jay Nixon.
Thank you, and good morning. Thank you, Katie. I'm like hungry after that. It really smells good in here. It's also good to see here in the back over here our good friend Troy Nash. We appreciate their work in helping this community focus to be competitive in the future. In this job, you travel the state a lot and you see communities that are coming together on economic development issues, and clearly the Marshall region here is one in which, rather than sitting still, there's been a focus on a strategic plan and effort to implement that. And I think in no small measure to that sort of united focus effort, we're here today to be with folks that are investing millions of dollars, creating jobs, moving product all across the United States, right here from Marshall, Missouri. And I'll speak. I'll ask Jody to say a few words, then I'll take questions from the press after that. I'll be glad to take questions, but it'll be after the final piece. Now, as 2012 draws to a close, it's an appropriate time to look at the many good things that have happened in Missouri's economy over the past year. That includes the creation of tens of thousands of new jobs so far in 2012, and an unemployment rate that remains far below the national average. In fact, just this morning, our Department of Economic Development released state employment report for the month of November. Last month, Missouri's unemployment rate dropped to 6.7%. That's the lowest level since 2008. We now remain lower than the national unemployment rate for 39 months in a row. We're not done yet, but clearly headed in that right direction. Then there are state exports, which have been setting records. Through the first 3 quarters of 2012, our exports were up $128 million over last year, with a solid chance to surpass last year's all-time record. That last year's all-time record, put in context for those out there making things to send around the globe, was $14.1 billion in export sales. That is an outstanding number, obviously a record also, that points out that we are prepared not only to feed, fuel, and clothe America, but also the world, and that's who we're competing with. The workers out here are not just competing with workers in Alabama or New Orleans or wherever. We're competing on a world stage here. The productivity required in places like this is a worldwide productivity, and that's why it was so great to see the movement forward. We've also received some positive recognition from highly respected national sources. The Kauffman Foundation, Polina, all have us in the top 10 in entrepreneurial activity, especially Kauffman. We've moved from 49 to 6th in the past 4 years, and that's something that all Missourians can be proud of. So it's fitting we're here at Cargill today to announce an expansion and increased investment by one of the biggest global brand names in food and agriculture. Cargill is an international producer of food and agriculture products and one of the nation's largest privately held corporations. The company has had significant presence in the Show Me State for decades, not only maintaining this facility in Marshall since 1995, but currently employing about 1,300 Missourians in all corners of our state. So when an excellent longtime Missouri employer like Cargill chooses to keep growing in our state, that's really significant news. And that's why we're here today. Last fall, Cargill decided to establish a new production line of ready-to-cook beef, pork, and chicken products to be sold directly to retail supermarkets across the United States. We had the chance this morning to see that pristine facility that reminded me a lot more of a kitchen than it did a facility. You had individuals in there preparing stuff for people all over America. things that will literally be in ovens over the holidays. It's nice to be in a facility where you see millions of people's meals prepared in a clean, efficient, effective way for them. That new production line here at this facility is a significant expansion, representing a capital investment of $15.8 million into this facility, which is also creating 50 new jobs here in Marshall. That is a win for the local economy and a win for the state of Missouri. I'm pleased that my administration could help make Cargill's expansion a reality through a package of economic incentives, and we want to thank the leadership of Cargill for its increased investment in the state of Missouri. Missouri is a good place to invest your dollars for three simple reasons. First of all, we take care of your dollars. AAA credit rating, our balanced budgets, the way we work across the aisle to make sure we deal with your dollars in a smart fashion. Number two, our workforce, second to none. Missouri workers show up early, stay late, ready to compete anybody in the world all day long. And the third is our pro-business environment that rewards investment in our state. We tremendously appreciate organizations that could literally have spent this $15.8 million anywhere in America and decided for all the right reasons for them and all the right reasons for us that Marshall, Missouri was the place to make that investment. That doesn't happen by accident, and it plays off of other solid successes we have seen and will see in the future. Cargill has been a great corporate partner to our state for years, and I look forward to continuing our positive relationship for many, many more years to come. I should, as a side note, appreciate their help with other national leaders on issues involved in Missouri, Mississippi River lately. Their national, quite frankly, worldwide voice has been helpful to us. So, and just as I've done from day one, I will continue to reach across the aisle to hold the line on taxes, to work with businesses in every corner of the state to keep our economy moving forward, so that there are more days like today, when organizations that could invest their dollars anywhere choose to show me state. And that leads directly to a competitive workforce, more jobs, and more economic activity for our states. I'll turn this now over then to President Joni Horner. She'll have some remarks, and then I'll be glad to take questions from the press. Once again, thank you for coming down, and thank you for giving us this great tour.
Thanks. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Jody Horner, President of Cargill Meat Solutions, and it is truly an honor to have all of you here with us to celebrate today, especially you, Governor Nixon, and your team. Governor Nixon mentioned the growth imperative here, and we agree with his statements. We're very, very excited about the growth right here in Marshall, Missouri. And that growth certainly wouldn't have happened without the collaboration that was mentioned early. But I also agree with the second point the governor said around the people here. And I can tell you that the growth in this facility in large part is due to our team's daily commitment to excellence, demonstrated every single day, the 455 people who work here in this facility. Their focus on both product quality, innovation, servicing our customers, and making continuous improvement really has led to this being a world-class facility. As such, we as a team take a great deal of pride in producing safe, nutritious, and affordable food for Americans. All of that takes place right here in this building. We believe that at a time when our nation is struggling to create jobs and to grow our economy, we're pleased with the collaboration that has taken place between the state of Missouri and Cargill, and that really did influence our decision to invest, as the governor said, more than $15 million in the expansion of this facility. We're proud of the fact that our business is growing, and we are very fortunate to be in a position where we can expand our production while also benefiting from a truly engaged workforce here. We're gratified about our ability to supply ongoing food, safe and affordable and wholesome products to our customers. And we're also proud of the volunteerism and our employees' efforts to give back to our community. We've donated over $100,000 to the local Marshall community and thousands of hours of volunteer time, as well as product donations as well. So my congratulations to our entire Marshall team, and again, thank you for joining us here today.
Before I take questions, two very, very short things. First of all, I appreciate the folks here for joining our Show Me Heroes program upstairs. We saw their Flag of Freedom Award, which is given to organizations that take that pledge and then follow through with that pledge by hiring veterans. That Flag of Freedom is a unique award. It is a subdued flag worn in combat by one of our veterans in either Afghanistan or Iraq. It's upstairs with pride, and I thank this organization for reaching out and helping us make sure that those folks that serve forests and foreign lands are also able to get jobs and continue their careers when they get home in peacetime. Once again, also jealous of the size of the deer that wins the competition for the largest deer. It's about the size of the one I missed in Clark County. The one that I shot down in Pulaski County would not have finished high here, but did have 8 points. But the one up north, the one I missed, would have been on your list there. I'll leave it to that. With that, I'll be glad to take questions, President. This or any other? Yes.
Could you describe a little bit about the incentive package and what's involved in that, whether there's any tax impact locally?
There will be significant tax impact locally by the folks here that are working, paying taxes. Through our state enhanced enterprise zone, the incentives, the total incentive package ultimately would be about $445,000. That's a program that's been effective at getting additional dollars invested in these enterprise zones, areas where we can see solid growth. And it's been a pleasure to work with the local folks to have these targeted economic incentives that can help augment the $15.8 million